Hi, I'm Rachel Abbasi. Welcome to the Recovery Daily Podcast. As always, thanks for spending time with me.
Hello, happy Tuesday. I feel really bad. And so today's topic is about how our disability, chronic pain, sobriety, alcoholism, all of these things that we come together for here and talk about how to be better, how to live better, how to feel better. It doesn't take a day off. And the other day for the 4th of July, I think I shared on the 4th of July, if I'm not I don't even know. Or I shared about before the 4th of July. I don't even remember at this point. Um, I shared about how I was feeling a little poopy. I know I shared that in my meeting on that day and feeling like, oh, well, I can't look at fireworks. I can't do this. I can't do that. And that's okay. I feel like in sobriety too, for those of you who are recovering from alcoholism, it's like approaching holidays can also feel the same way. Like, well, everybody else is going to drink, there's going to be parties and everything, and my sobriety doesn't, or my alcoholism doesn't take a day off. Well, like everything else, this experience and stroke recovery has really ran parallel with my experience recovering from alcoholism. So on the 4th of July, I was really excited to see these, the best fireworks ever on uh in DC. So of course there was a rain delay, so I ended up staying up late. And for any of you who have a vestibular disorder, whether it was caused from a stroke or it's caused from an inner ear disturbance or uh, um, traumatic brain injury, because with symptoms comes my inability to put thoughts together and communicate. So I'm not planning on for sharing very long for this episode today because I'm really, really struggling. But for those of you who have this sort of disability, know that it doesn't take a day off. And when we don't take care of ourselves, we suffer the consequences of that. So that's what happened. And so the next day I woke up, I think I didn't go to sleep until like 12:45 or something like that, which in my previous life would have been fine. It would have been fine. I would have just been tired the next day. And it's hard to forget 50 years of if I do this, then this happens. Because now I have a new if I do this, then this happens. And um, I'm always trying to convince myself that, okay, yeah, you're still disabled. Yeah, you still have chronic pain. Yeah, this is not, nothing's changed, Rachel. And that's what happened again. So, but what I feel like is I can't look up or look down without the room spinning. And when I get up to go to the bathroom, like in the middle of the night or in the morning, it's like I need a walking stick or something like that. I'm very unstable. So I have been taking a break from digital devices, and for this episode, I'm trying not to look at the screen at all. But it's definitely reminded me that it doesn't take a day off. And it reminds me of early sobriety and how I remember after my 1 year anniversary, my sister had a party for me. And I was driving home after that, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, I have to do this again for another year. You know, it was like, yay, I did it. Oh, wait a minute. Now I have to do it again. And that's a dangerous place for me. Like, I remember the first time I went to detox and I came out and I ended up drinking again. What got me was I can't do this for the rest of my life. So I knew when I thought that after my 1 year anniversary this second time around, which I'm still in, thank goodness. But when I thought that, I was like, this is dangerous. It's dangerous when I think I can't keep doing this, or oh my gosh, I have to, like, future tripping, I guess, and thinking of all of the days of my life all at one time. I have to pull myself back and think, no, I just have to live in this very moment that I'm in. That's it. I don't need to worry about how am I going to handle this in the future, and oh, I can't do this day in and day out. I need to focus just on the moment that I'm in. So one thing that I talked about with my psychiatrist last no, for the past 2 weeks really, was the guilt and the shame that I feel when I do something I know I shouldn't. Um, so this past time, staying up late and watching, mind you, watching the fireworks on my phone. I mean, everything in me was telling me I shouldn't be doing it, but I guess I'm a glutton for punishment, and I was just like, screw it, screw my disability, screw my chronic pain. I'm gonna do it anyway, and I'm not going to feel guilty or shameful about it. It was like, okay, this time I was putting to the test my guilt and my shame, not the disability. It's just sometimes I feel like a disaster, like a beautiful disaster. Isn't that a song? And so this time it's like, okay, well, I don't feel the guilt and the shame, but I put myself in a really, really terrible spot. So it's going to take me all week long to recover. If it doesn't take me longer than that, because I really put myself through the ringer. And it wasn't just that, like I had been building up to it. Like I had my friend, if you remember, my friend came the weekend before. So it's just like, and I started to do things like looking at the TV a little more. And, I just kept testing. I keep testing. And I don't know how to get it into my thick skull that Rachel, this is what you cannot do. If you do this, you will suffer. If you do this, you will feel terrible. Um, I don't know how to get that through my thick skull. But the positive thing is that I didn't feel guilty or shameful. I just feel terrible. So I guess that's a positive. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, today I wanted to talk about that recovery doesn't take a day off, and staying up late watching the 4th of July celebration. Was it worth it? It was worth it when I woke up the next morning. Like, I felt, okay, I feel bad. That was predictable, but it's okay. I'm going to be able to get through the day. I really enjoyed it. My body did remind me that there is a cost. sleep deprivation is more than just being groggy for me. It is my head increases in pain. My eyes get those sharp pains, which are typically under control because of my Emgality injection, which I just did because it's the beginning of the month. But my vestibular symptoms, which are usually fairly controlled because I really limit myself to visual exposure, just went through the roof. So, did it make the next day harder? Yes. And this time it wasn't about the guilt. It was just purely about the symptoms. But what I'm realized that evening when I was getting ready to go to bed, I laid down on the floor on my back, which is what I typically do before I get in bed. I lay down on my back and it just feels so amazing to like straighten my back on the floor and just lay there and let gravity do its thing. And if I like my back cracks and everything just by nothing, just by laying there. And then I usually do some side planks, some gentle side planks to, um, I'm still working on my back pain and I stretch a little bit. It's probably like a 5 to 10 minute little routine that I have. And I laid down, laid back, and the room was spinning, like spinning. Like I popped up and I grabbed a hold of the bed and I went, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And I realized, okay, I'm way past what is acceptable for me. Um, so what I was supposed to do the next day was go to my art club meeting, which I had to pass on. And I was really bummed about that because I had created, if you're following me on Facebook and Instagram, I had created a reimagining of a art project done by a St. Jude patient. And I was really proud of it, really nervous about it, but proud of it. And so I was going to go to the art club meeting, which is once a month, to show and turn in my project, and I couldn't go. So, you know, that's how far I don't think through my actions. Um, I don't, yeah, I thought about, yeah, I'm not going to feel good tomorrow, but I didn't think about you're also not going to feel good the rest of the week. You're not going to be able to go to your art club. You're not going to be able to go to your AA meeting on Monday night. You're not going to be able to cook dinner. You know, like I didn't think about it to that degree. So, I guess there's a lesson learned there that my chronic pain, my vestibular symptoms, they impact me far beyond my decisions. Um, yeah, they don't take a holiday, which means I can't just not take care of myself today or this evening. Like, let's throw caution to the wind and I'm gonna do XYZ and I'll deal with feeling crappy tomorrow. It doesn't work like that. Um, and just like everything in my recovery running parallel with my sobriety, sobriety works the same way, doesn't it? It's not like I can be like, oh, let's throw caution to the wind. I'm gonna drink tonight and tomorrow I'll feel bad, but I'll be past. That's not how it works in sobriety either. Um, the impacts of that decision will stay with me far beyond the next day. Isn't that interesting? I didn't draw that comparison until right now. Even though I've been dealing with the symptoms very strongly, I didn't think about how if I make a decision that goes against my sobriety, it will impact me long term negatively. In the same way, if I make a decision that goes against my stroke recovery, my vestibular recovery, the impact stays with me long term. So the healthier routines I have consistently, the more freedom I have to do the things that I want to do, like going to the art club meeting, like going to my AA meeting in person. Um, Even though I don't think about a drink every day, my disease of alcoholism never disappears. And in the same way with my vestibular disorder, even though in the moment I may not feel symptoms terribly, the disability, the chronic pain, the repercussions never disappear. Um, it's like brushing my teeth. I don't start brushing my teeth when right before I get a cavity. I brush my teeth every day to avoid getting a cavity. And what I do today, and then the next day, and then the next day, they build on each other, and I remain in freedom, freedom to enjoy. And that comes with, in sobriety, spiritual fitness. If I do my prayers every day and I go to my meetings every day and I do my inventory every day and I connect with other people in my fellowship every day, those are not emergency measures, they're maintenance. And sometimes I get tired of it. Um, So let me correct myself. In the beginning of sobriety, like when I was driving home after that 1 year anniversary party, I felt like I was tired of it. I'm tired of being good. That's what I remember thinking. I'm tired of being good. Um, Over time, as long as I don't drink, and it's okay to feel tired of being good. As long as I don't stop accepting that I have a disease. As long as I don't stop accepting that I am permanently disabled. As long as I don't stop surrendering to the invisible illness, the disease, the disability, whatever it is, as long as I don't stop accepting and surrendering, it's okay to be tired of hurting. It's okay to be tired of going to doctor's appointments. It's okay to be tired of planning my life around my symptoms. Um, it's okay in the beginning of sobriety to be tired of being an alcoholic. Those feelings, those thoughts shouldn't scare you. What becomes dangerous is maybe I should take a break. Maybe I should skip my AA meeting. Maybe I don't need to pace myself today. Maybe it's a good idea for me to go outside and go running out of nowhere. maybe I don't need to do all of this anymore. That's equivalent to maybe I'll just take one drink. Maybe I can just push through and stay up until like 5 hours after your normal bedtime and look at the computer and watch bright lights flickering across the screen. Like being tired of something is not the problem. Quitting acceptance is the problem. And acceptance is, I talk about it all the time. Like acceptance isn't giving up on what you want. Um, it's, I don't have to like it. I don't have to want it. I don't, I can even wish that it were different. But acceptance means that this is the reality. This is what I live with today. And I don't have to think this is what I have to, this is the rest of my life. I have to do this for the rest of my life. I heard that this morning in my meeting and that's what I struggled with in early sobriety, especially the first time I got sober when I wasn't willing to do whatever it took to stay sober. I I thought I have to do this for the rest of my life. And I couldn't do it. I wasn't willing to do whatever it took to stay sober, clearly. Um, so how do I how do I think things like I wish my life was different and still practice acceptance and surrender? Um, every day I wake up, I have the opportunity to cooperate with reality or argue with it. And what I have found, I don't like confrontation. And that applies also to my own life. Confrontation with myself. I don't like it. I don't I don't like to argue with myself even. It's uncomfortable and I can feel the frustration. I can feel the frustration bubble up just like that if I start arguing with reality because it makes me feel like I'm trying to grip my hands around nothing and make it change. How do I wrap my hands around this world and squeeze hard enough to make it change? All it does is make me tired and frustrated. So I have the opportunity to just open up my claws and just let life happen. Stop trying to control it and make it be a certain way. No matter how much I try, it's never going to change. It's never going to change. And I find that sometimes it's just healthy for me to go outside and go for a walk by myself. If I don't feel well enough to walk, go outside and sit and say out loud, I don't like this. I don't like that this is what's happening. I don't like that I can't go on a boat. I don't like that I can't go running. I don't like that I can't ride my bicycle. I don't like that I can't wake up in the middle of the night to pee and I feel like I'm going to fall over. I don't like it and I don't want to do it anymore. It's fine to think that. But then I've got to pull up my bootstraps, as they say, and take another step towards recovery anyway. Um, because as long as I'm arguing with reality, I'm completely missing out on my life. Um, I don't earn a day off from taking care of myself. Sometimes I feel like self-care is selfish, but it's not optional. Um, Sometimes I feel like rest is laziness, but it's not optional. Boundaries in my life are a necessity, and I get my freedom through consistency in self-care. I need to protect my routines. I need to stay connected with people. When I feel like I don't like something, I need to tell somebody that I don't like it, period. And I have a routine of getting on a virtual call with a psychiatrist every Wednesday at 10:15 a.m. And I tell her when I don't like something. And some days I'll show up and I'm like, oh, I'm doing this craft and I love my new neighborhood. I got to walk my dog here and I met these people and I love my art club and all of this stuff. And then sometimes I have to stop myself and be like, okay, I'm not this happy during every minute of every day. So let me just stop for a second. Let me just get quiet for a second with my psychiatrist and think, what happened this week that I didn't like? What was I sick of? I was sick of pacing myself. I was sick of asking my husband for a ride to something that I want to go to. I was tired of going to sleep on time. On time meaning before 10 is really my boundary. And when I sit down and I tell her this is what I'm not happy about, then I feel this like freedom that I'm not ignoring the parts of me that are tired of being disciplined. Um, the discipline gives me freedom. But what about the part of me that controls the discipline? Um, she needs relief too. And I get that by talking about it, saying it out loud. So I'm going to stop right there because I just got really, really spinny dizzy. So I'm going to stop right there. Thanks for listening, and I will talk to you next time.